I did online.
Oh. Awesome. See, technologically savvy you are.
No, I just got lucky. Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Let the record reflect that this is the meeting of the Elkhart County Alcohol Beverage Board. This 16th day of October at 10 a.m. The members of the local board are, I'm Kevin Bullard, Greg Barbaria,
Davey Reynolds.
And Michelle Trevor, State Excise Police.
Are there any persons here who wish their voice their opposition to any permits on the agenda today? If so, be sure that you signed in. Then please stand, state the permit you wish to remonstrate against, and remain standing.
Anyone? No.
With all persons in attendance seeking a new permit, requesting a change of location or ownership, or seeking remonstration, please stand and raise your right hand.
New permit, transfer of ownership, transfer of location, or a renewal after a violation. Stand and raise your right hand, please. When in doubt, stand and raise your right hand. It doesn't hurt.
Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you have given or on your application or any testimony you may give in response to any question asked by this board to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may be seated. So I'll ask the board for we'll start with board 2. I'll ask the board for a motion to approve renewals with no remonstrance.
And those are the VFW number 985 in Goshen and Bread and Chocolate in Goshen.
Make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
I will make a motion to approve the September minutes as written for Board 2.
I will second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
That carries. That ends board 2.
Now open up board 1. All the automatic renewals with no violations. We have the Italian American.
Speak up, please.
Pardon?
You need to speak up.
Oh,
Use your microphone. Can't really hear you. That's okay. Just pull it towards you. There you go. It's on.
okay. First one, Italian American Leaf Association. Harrison Street, Elkhart. We have my dad's place. Road 19, Elkhart. Mega Liquor and Smoke, number 14. State Road 19, Wakarusa. Smoking Fatties Barbecue, Interchange Drive, Elkhart. Don Jose Mexican Grill, Cantina. County Road 17, Elkhart. Dollar General Store, number 23733, County Road 31, Goshen. And then we have Aldi's, number 23, and the location is pending. And then we have Racetrack. That's partial number 2005.
You don't have to read all that. It's location pending,
Oh.
basically.
Okay. And then we have a King Wa Chinese restaurant, Casapa Street, Elkhart. You have Hoosier Spot on, west of Beardsley, Elkhart. And, I think that is it for automatic renewals. Have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the renewals of the automatic renewals.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. You just want to start now?
Yep.
The first one is Siciliano's, Harrison Street, number 992000853. Here in Lyman, Electric.
Permit number RR 2000953. 853, sorry. What, where, you got
853.
nines and I don't know where nines came. I thought maybe the zeros look like nines and then, geez, RR 2000853. You guys can come up to the podium. And state your names, please.
Curtis Barnes, David Barnes, Callan Barnes.
Okay. And you are the owners. Okay, so you are here for a renewal after a violation. You had a violation back in May of 24 for character of business, so you paid $1,000 fine. And then you had another violation in April of 25. It was an alcohol compliance check and employee permits, and you paid another $1,250 fine. Can you tell the board what, before we get into history, I guess, as to what was going on with these most recent violations?
The employee permit was just oversight on our part, keeping them up to date. And the violation for serving a minor is just slipped through the cracks.
Who was the employee that sold? Okay. And how are you related?
So,
Son, okay, okay.
Did you whip him?
yeah, and they were kind of.
Okay, so in this situation, this alcohol compliance check, the minor bought the alcohol for carry out.
Yeah.
Okay. They did not cite you for character of business or food sales or anything on that occasion. Okay. You have had, the character of business, violation. You were cited for that in 2013. You failed an alcohol compliance check in 2014. You had a violation in 2016 for gifts from a distributor, 2018 for prohibited smoking, and then 2024, you again were cited for character of business. You'd already been cited for that once. Then this alcohol compliance check violation, you had already failed a compliance check violation before also. So we're talking repeat violations, same offenses, but you're choosing at this point to do what you want. So convince the board why we should renew the alcohol permit.
I'm not sure what the compliance violations were for the character of business. Yeah, because we didn't have enough food at the time.
Because you didn't have the bar open, you were operating like a liquor store with no food.
Sense.
Well, clearly not, because you got violated for that again and you got cited for that again in 24.
In 24, it corrected it again. It was corrected before, slipped through the cracks, and then got corrected again.
Okay, are you guys as absentee owners?
No,
Are you running the business? Who's running the business?
we don't.
How does this slip through the cracks?
You've been in business for 30 years, and you just get complacent and don't check on things that should be checked on.
Okay, what about the alcohol compliance check? This is twice now that you've sold to a minor.
Trained all employees and make sure it won't happen again.
So how long have you owned the business? So I mean, are you just too complacent? Do you need to get out of the business? I don't know. I'm asking.
No. So,
When, what type of food, restaurant? I mean,
everything that we have is cooked in a microwave, because of the health department regulations. So we provide everything that the health commission says we gotta have. The milk, the soup, the sandwiches. We don't have a full restaurant.
okay, I guess, obviously there's food's come a long way and you can probably run a restaurant or definitely a convenience store out of a microwave.
Right.
But my thought is we need to either be one or the other. Either be a liquor store, bar, change your business there, get rid of the microwaves, or expand and get into more food related stuff. And, Elkhart's looking for places and restaurants. So,
Right. So to do that, that would be a very costly endeavor with the building and what would have to be done to have the health department to get.
yeah, I understand that, but there are rules and ways to do things correctly.
Right.
And it just seems like you're just barely meeting the minimums to
Right.
do what you're doing.
Well, and to point out, they haven't met the minimums in the past twice, probably more, but they've been cited for it twice. That's the character of the business because they're operating a liquor store on a restaurant license. And so when they say, oh, we've corrected it, well, now they have the microwave and a minimum food. So yeah, it's a restaurant permit, yet they operate like a liquor store. And then clearly, I mean, more than once, they've sold on an alcohol compliance check. So the concerns with us always on the alcohol compliance checks are, those are the times we know about. Because we're sending in the minors that are trying to purchase. If you ask them, do you have ID? They're truthful and they say no. If you ask them, how old are you? They're gonna tell you, I'm 19. If you ask them, what's your birthday? They're gonna tell you, 2007 or whatever. They don't lie. So how many times are you selling to minors that we don't know about, that we didn't send in, but clearly they're not getting carded, they're not getting asked anything. And if they were, odds are they would lie, right? If they don't have an ID. So how many times is that happening? That's what's concerning when I see multiple alcohol compliance check violations.
With different employees.
What was the time period between the two compliance checks?
The first one occurred in 2014. The second one was 2025.
So I can at least speak for the one in 2025, because that was my fault. I've been up all night. I was not complacent. It slipped through. It's my fault. Simple as that. I mean, I really shouldn't have been at the register, but the employee we had running the register needed to go to the bathroom. So I was like, cool, no big deal. And just really wasn't thinking about it. Sure, here's your stuff, no big deal. That's my fault. But 2014,
What?
that's not, yeah. Yeah, that's somebody entirely different.
Right. But that's where the oversight of the business comes in question. That's why we were talking about that. What are you, if you're absentee owners or what, that's.
Right.
Questions?
I guess my question would be, what would you like, or what do you see your business moving forward? Would you like just become a carry-out liquor? Do you want to get away from the food and, eliminate the health department?
Well, that's impossible for us to do under the license that we have.
Well, and that's my point. Maybe you ought to get apply for a different permit and a different license.
but they're not available. Store license are only so many. We're capped of the state or of the city, and there's none available to switch over to, none that we know of.
I was gonna say, we're giving us options here that there's a possibility to not have the license that we have now.
Well, we transfer alcohol, we transfer liquor store permits all the time. And grocery store permits. I mean, I think you'd even do better doing a grocery store permit than you would a restaurant permit.
Sort of alcohol, but it's probably sort of, excuse me, liquor.
Liquor, correct. Yeah,
Or full beer,
correct.
that would be a problem.
But a liquor store permit, I mean, we're transferring those all the time. So they're out there to be purchased from somebody else.
Search.
Well, like I said, not at the ATC, but you can purchase them from other people. Like I said, we transfer them all the time.
Search. Yeah, you don't really get rid of it.
Anything?
How many employees are there,
Five,
including you?
Yeah.
So two others that are potentially working the register.
yeah,
I was just wondering if you guys, since this last violation, have put any measures into place in terms of training or,
yeah.
100% carding, looks under 40, doesn't have gray hair. I don't know what it would be, but
Right, yeah,
is there some sort of system in place now?
yeah, there is now.
My understanding, you can tell me if I'm wrong here, is that you guys are kind of trying to run a packaged liquor store that forced to offer food via microwave due to the kind of permit that you're relegated to having right now. Is that a fair
Pretty
much?
much, exactly.
Nail on the head, which is a problem for us.
Yeah.
Obviously, with 6 violations in the last 12 years, that's every other year, basically, that they're getting a violation.
They wouldn't upgrade to like swap licenses.
They can't.
They can't.
They're on, like he said, they're on quota, so if there's no
Right.
package store permits available, then they have to buy them from a private individual willing to
There's nothing
sell,
They could flip flop them, they could exception or
not
something
this
like
type
that.
of
I
permit.
guess not.
Is there such a thing as a 6-month,
Mm-mm.
1 or 2?
1 year or 2-year renewal is all the options. Like I said, 6 violations in the last 12 years, which is about every other year that they're getting a violation.
Have any recommendations? Michelle?
Well, I know how I'm gonna vote regardless of the recommendation, so.
Or give us 1 year send your officers in whenever you want, and then one is gonna be there most of the time. And we won't have a violation in any time period within that 1 year.
Well, I'm confident that there's not gonna be a violation in the next year. It's the year after. Cause it's every 2 years, there's a violation there. Yeah, there's been a few years from 2018 to 2024 that there weren't, any violations, but then years prior, it's been every year, so. Yeah. So we can do a roll call vote if you would prefer, in case somebody wants to vote 1 year, or somebody wants to vote 2, or somebody wants to deny. We can just do a roll call vote as opposed to somebody making a motion. If you guys would like.
I'll make a motion to do a roll call vote.
Okay,
And so we'll just figure how we get to the end. So to start out with, myself, Kevin Bullard, I will vote for a 1 year. Greg?
Greg will vote for 1 year.
And Danny?
Danny Reynolds, I'll vote the same. and I don't know that I necessarily have the authority to say so, but I'd love to hear back next year that you guys have sought out and found packaged liquor type license, or at least been looking for one. My reasoning for doing the 1 year would be that if you guys could have the kind of license you wanted, most of these violations, I guess the carding violation probably still would have taken place, but the food one wouldn't have.
Right. We can come back next year to the meeting. It's not, that's not a problem.
So hopefully even within the year, maybe you guys can find the kind of license you're wanting to carry.
And Michelle, state excise?
You probably anticipate I'm gonna vote to deny. Clearly I'm overruled, which is fine. But the reason being is because it's repeat violations for the same offenses. That rubs me wrong because like I said, that's a blatant disregard for the law that you're choosing to get complacent or do whatever you want to do without following the law. If this was any other place that had 6 violations in a 12-year time span, they would probably be cited for a public nuisance. And, you know, that brings completely different issues with those type of charges. So what happens now is I'm sending this to the commission for 1-year renewal with my vote being as denied. The commission will take it under review and then they will either issue the permit for 1 year or they will notify you if they decide to do something differently.
Okay.
Questions?
You notify me.
This will go to the commission hearing. I don't have a calendar. Hang on. It's not gonna go to commission until November, so, oops. November 4th, I believe, or 5th will be the next commission hearing date, and it will be after that. Okay. All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up would be, Country Club Lanes on Cassopolis Street, Elkhart, number 9. Got me stuck on the 9.
I know, right?
RR 2003355.
Anyone here from Country Club Lanes and Lounge? No, okay, we'll have to continue that to the November meeting. That is November 20th.
Next we have Franklin Street Tavern, Franklin Street, Elkhart, 9. I can't believe this. RR 2000880.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you state your name, please? Okay, and you are the owner. This was a violation that occurred back in November of last year, so almost a year ago for a place of last drink investigation that what resulted in a sale to intoxicated patrons. You paid $1,000 fine. Prior to that, you had an alcohol compliance check violation in December of 22 where you paid $1,000 fine. Both those situations had the same bartender. And then one other violation back in 2018. So you want to tell the board what's happening with your bartender? What happened in November?
Well, the first one. He was an employee. It was her first night on her own. And excise in a minor, and she was swamped and she didn't card.
In December of 22?
That was the,
Okay, okay. So then she's been working for you at this, well, at that point, then at the violation in November of 24, she had been working for you for 2 years?
yes.
Okay, is she still working for you? Okay, so what happened with the sale to intoxicated patrons? Is she by herself again?
But that didn't have anything to do with it. I'm trying to remember which one that was.
I can refresh your memory a little bit. So I guess the accident occurred in September. It was a motorcycle accident on State Road 19. And the investigation had led back to your bar that the victim in the accident had been in your bar consuming alcohol. Does that ring any bells?
But I believe that's the one that had been at Snackers for 5 to 6 hours. And then stopped at my bar on their way home. And his buddy he was riding with, from my understanding, is he didn't want another drink. And he said, come on, let's have another drink. My wife's home making dinner. He says, I want to go. Well,
The friend said that, or the
the
victim?
guy did not want the drink, but yes, he was the victim.
Okay,
And apparently his buddy ordered another drink. These guys were outside. They were on the patio. They never been in the bar before. She didn't know they had been over at Snappers drinking for that amount of time. She said they pulled their bikes in. She watched them do that. She said he packed it up. She said he had no problem. She didn't card them, they were past 20, past of age, well past. And she just said they have to find what they going to cause them any issues. And she served him, the victim, a drink. The person he was with, she served him too. And they left. And my understanding is they were going approximately 90 miles an hour. And I guess he missed that roundy round. One went straight, the other went round. My understanding also is his buddy left him later and went on home to dinner.
did they both come into the bar to order drinks? Or,
Just one. Or,
okay, so the other one was outside? Okay.
I wasn't even aware of this until months later.
When the officers
Yes.
did their investigation?
And I said, I
Okay.
was quite upset. It's to say what I found out.
So what did, what is your policy for intoxicated patrons? How do you handle those situations, or how does Jessica handle them, the bartender?
We offered to give them wine. We offered them coffee, water. We also offered them food on my town.
Okay, but you are aware that you can't serve them to the point of intoxication, even though you offer those amenities.
Oh, I think we're talking about people that get from someplace else and came in.
Well, both, either, like, how do you handle every situation?
Well, we
So-
certainly try to keep things under control. We don't serve to intoxication. There was a girl the other day said she got a DUI she had two drinks in an hour and a half. And she said she got a DUI. How do you balance all this out?
Okay.
Doors opening, you're this tall, you're this, you weigh this much, how do you balance all that out and, be compliant and still stay in business?
Right. One thing I would suggest, I wasn't there and I'm just trying to scan the case report, so I'm not exactly sure on the details, but one thing maybe to make sure is that if you do have the patio or people are outside or whatever, to make sure that everybody does come in and talk to the bartender when they order. Like, don't let one person come in, even though the bartender might see two motorcycles pull up outside and one comes in and says, hey, can I get 2 beers? to take back out to the patio or whatever, you know, don't allow that. Maybe make everybody initially come in and
That
talk,
makes sense.
talk to the bartender.
That makes sense.
Just so you know if they have been somewhere else all day or something like that. You know, who knows if the bartender would have observed anything or not, like, it's hard to tell, but that just might be a suggestion. And then just make sure that people are not drinking in the parking lot. That I know you have carry out permit, right?
Yes.
Don't let them buy carry out and then just go sit on their motorcycle and,
That makes-
yeah, yeah,
I've caught a couple times.
yeah,
And
take
take
it,
away.
it's to take home.
I pack now, but take one if you hadn't finished it and don't come back. It makes me furious when I do that.
Yeah, yeah, take it to go, it's to go, to take
Yeah,
home to
exactly.
drink, so, yeah. I don't have any other suggestions. Like I said, this was, second violation in 2 year, well, third violation in a 6-year period. So we're on the every other year, yeah, so be careful here, because we're now on a 3 violations in 6-year time frame.
And I've had a very strong talk with her. I told her, I said, you've got to do better. I said, this can't continue. I said, they're gonna end up putting me on probation, possibly not renewing my license. I
Mhm.
said, you've got to do better.
And you were closed, how long were you closed? I know
Yeah.
9.5 months. Was that in where, 21? Or was that after the,
23.
okay, 23, okay.
I can, I guess, be sympathetic with a bartender, owner of a bar. You're in a tough position trying to judge someone's alcoholic state. And obviously it treats some people differently than others. You know, some people can sniff a glass of wine and get a DUI, and others could probably stay there all night and, you know, play chess. So, I understand that, but I think, if we want a roll call vote, we can have one, but I would make a motion, to be consistent with today of giving you a 1-year renewal.
What does that mean exactly?
It's,
They're renewed.
no, they're renewed every 2 years.
No, they are renewed every year. However, if you notice, 1 year, when you send your renewal in, you get it back real quick. It's because it doesn't get scheduled for the local board. So when we ask for a 1-year renewal, we're just asking that it gets scheduled here again. So the odd, like for instance, the odd year you send it in, you get it back within a couple weeks. And the even year you send it in, you get scheduled for a local board. That's why you have to have them in 90 days in advance. So even though you're applying for a renewal every year, it only comes to this board every other year. So we're just asking that it come to the board again next year.
27 years and I did not know that.
It's kind of new, I guess. Yeah, there's just too many alcohol permits in the state to do all of them every year. So they kind of started breaking it up. Yep.
So I'll ask for a second on my motion.
Yeah, so, I agree with Ken, and I'll go with the 1 year.
All right, all in favor of a 1-year renewal?
Aye.
All those opposed? It passed. You're on a, come to the board in a year.
Okay, so I come back here in a year.
Yep, you'll get a notice.
As long as, and if you haven't had any violations, then you don't have to come. But we're just basically saying, we just want to make sure nothing slips through the crack. And just for the record, why I voted for your 1-year renewal only is because you've had 3 violations, but they've all been something different. They have not been repeat violations, so
We try hard, but it's just never good enough.
keep trying.
You're-
Yep, thank you.
Next we have, Phillips 66, Cassopolis Street, Elkhart, number DL 2032 985.
Philip 66, anyone here from Philip 66? PL Expo? No? Okay, we'll have to continue that to November 20.
Okay, next we have Toasted Turtle Tavern, State Road 19, Elkhart, number RR 2042906.
Good morning. I think you came in late after we swore everybody in, so I will have to have you raise your right hand so I can swear you in. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury the answers you have given on your application and any questions asked by the board today to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Can you state your name, please?
Cameron Snyder.
All right, you are the owner.
Privilege of going next door to the old location, getting directed to downtown Goshen to the new courthouse.
No.
Beautiful facility, got to tour that. They turned me around. Drove back here and here I am.
Pretty good in that case.
Yeah, right? That's okay. So this is the old, my dad's place.
Yes,
So tell us what your plans are. I saw that you posted your orange sign.
yes.
Did you bring that affidavit that you posted it? I just need to have that, please. Thank you.
So you asked me what the plans are there? Is that,
Yes.
so it's, with all my concepts, we want to be food first centric. Obviously the alcohol permits is a part of our business plan, but our goal is to kind of create something between the chubby trout and smoking fatties as far as, the cuisine, and we're still kind of dialing that in as to what exactly it's gonna be. And, it is, our anticipation to make it family friendly, where before it wasn't family friendly, so creating that to limit separation. And we have that installed now.
Okay.
And, I brought pictures of that if you need to see that, but, just to offer another family friendly type restaurant, and, hopefully we can do breakfast on the weekends, if we can, staff it properly. And, Saturday, Sunday, kind of a breakfast brunch with the lunch and dinner. And, I don't have anticipations of staying open past my bedtime.
8 o'clock? No. Okay. Oh, that's my bedtime. Sorry.
No, probably, it's probably gonna be 9 o'clock through the weekdays and then 10 o'clock on the weekends, depending on there's any home games or not, but having a focus on between, seafood and probably have a few steaks, on the menu, and, got a big pizza oven there, and I don't want to get back to the pizza oven like I was at Fat Tomato, but, we'll probably have flatbreads and some Italian sandwiches. Just trying to find a niche in between chubby and flipping cow and smoking fatties to kind of bring another option to the north side of Elkhart.
How many establishments do you own now?
See,
How many establishments do you own?
3,
3? The 3, this would be 4?
yes.
Okay.
I think it's pretty well known, Cam,
Mhm.
of the quality of restaurants you try to present and the customer following that you do. You're one of many in Elkhart that do things right. And that's what made you successful. You're more successful at a restaurants than you ever were as a basketball player. So, so yeah, just, you are a great community citizen, and a corporate citizen of the city of Elkhart, and, I'm very excited to see, what you can come up with again. That's my only comment.
Second all that.
Mhm. I agree. You are one of the few business owners that when even when I saw your name on the agenda, I'm like, oh, phew, I don't have to worry about that one. Like, I know that you do try to uphold, and I don't even know if any violations have ever occurred at your place. I mean, if they were, it's,
Been quite a
Yeah.
while. It's the old Lakeshore days, there was,
yeah,
but prior to flipping cow, there was pickups.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, we don't have any issues with your businesses in town either. So we appreciate that. It makes our life easier for sure.
So I'll make a motion to approve the transfer.
So,
All those in favor?
Aye. Right. Yep. Good luck. So when are you when are you hoping to open?
Well, pending this, I was questioning that as I was coming back and up and down US 33 when that might happen. But we've got some caterings for, private events going into the holidays, pending the liquor license, and we've got to get, our food license in place. I talked to the health department this week about that. So, I tell people this is the fun part, creating it. The hard part is getting the doors open. So, that is, our anticipation. We've had inquiries of people, corporate events, say, can you cater into the restaurant and have our holiday parties rather than using one of the other three and more of a private event. So I didn't know exactly, since it's been a few years since I went through this process, how quickly that happens with the transfer and what that looks like.
Well, this will go to commission hearing November 4th or 5th. I'm not sure which date. It's usually the first Tuesday, but it could be moved to Wednesday.
Okay.
But it will go to commission hearing. Then after that, it just takes a few days to make the permit active once the final inspection's done.
Okay.
If I didn't mark off on the final inspection yet because that railing was not up and everything. But if you're not gonna be opening until December, then I'd rather wait until the middle of November to do the inspection. If it's gonna be Thanksgiving, you want to be open for private things, then it's same thing. I can do it, second or third week of November, so.
Okay. Should I send an email to you?
Mhm. You still have my email?
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
To get, closer to that, I will send you an email and that way we can try to coordinate.
yeah, and I can usually be out in about a week at the most. Sometimes I could maybe be there the next day, you never know, but give me about a week.
Sounds great.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim.
yeah, good
Okay.
luck.
Okay. Next we have, 112 Club Entertainment under RR 2042914. Second Street, Elkhart.
Good morning.
How's everyone?
Good. Can you state your name, please?
Samuel Boss. He is the Victor license.
Okay, what is your title?
I am an operation manager for actually Go-Go Real Estate.
Okay,
And we are, okay, Mountain Capital is our, they provide all the financing. Go-Go Real Estate controls all the properties. We also have the, Enterprise Building, the old Elkhart, which we turned into, an entrepreneur center, which has about 30 businesses there. Then we purchased the 112 Club, which we plan on turning it back into an event center. Also, we are in the process of converting the lower level into a lounge of sorts.
okay. So I went by there this morning and the orange sign is posted in the window. However, it wasn't completed. It didn't have the date, time, or location of this hearing.
Okay.
And it's a public notice, so it's gotta be
Well,
filled in.
The problem was with that, I didn't get the letter until, last week. Yeah,
Okay.
it was last week, and we got the orange sticker, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm,
Okay, and I posted it, right then.
mm-hmm,
And, I just didn't have the information. so.
And didn't go back and
Yeah,
fill it in.
yeah.
Yeah, but because of that, we have to continue this until November 20th. We can't hear it because of that. So you'll have to get that completed. Now, what events are you gonna have coming up? What is your plan for opening?
Well, our plan was actually trying to get open the 1st of November. That was our plan.
Okay,
It is the event center, so we haven't scheduled anything
you haven't,
near, yeah.
okay. Yeah, this would have to be heard November 20th. It would then go, providing nothing, holds us up then. This would go to commission hearing on December 2nd. And then it would be, at the most a week after that before it's made active. Mhm. Now, when I went by there this morning, I did notice the front door was unlocked, and I went in and I was hollering for somebody and I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
find anybody, so.
Well, I was there, but I was on the 3rd floor.
Okay,
Okay.
and I only went first and second, and then I got a little like, oh, I don't
Yeah,
like this
I was
because
there.
there's nobody
I
here.
park in the back all the time, so
Okay.
everybody can see a vehicle, but I was there.
Okay, are you doing more construction or is it the
It's
construction?
pretty much done. We still doing a few final touches, some painting and stuff like that, but as far as construction, well, basically, we really didn't change the structure of the building at all.
Okay.
We just kind of, what I call put lipstick on the pig.
Okay.
And it made it look, we redid the bars, because the bars was kind of shabby and, so, other than that, we really didn't do a whole lot to the building. They had kind of let the building, get to the point where it was starting to crumble, so we had to go in and redo a lot of the walls and, redo the trim and, stuff like that. But as far as structurally of the building, we really didn't change it.
Okay, if you have time, I would like to come over after the meeting
Sure.
and do the inspection, so
Sure.
we can at least have that tied up.
No problem.
Okay, perfect.
What's the capacity of this event center gonna be?
Well, the 3rd floor is, they have it, labeled at 350, okay? The 2nd floor is 300, and the lower level is probably gonna be about, I say 75 to 100.
You guys are planning to activate the lounge as a bar essentially, like
Yeah.
it'll have daily
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
I know Brad shared pictures with me. It looks great.
Yeah. I'm kind of proud of it.
Yeah, you should be. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I had my wedding reception there when it was last renovated the first time. That's how old I am. So I know, there were plans for a mid-November, that I had mentioned to Brad, and he didn't even know that I said on this board, but, there's a celebration, for the Learner 100 that some of the lounges downtown are doing a speakeasy
Right,
kind of
yeah.
thing. And I know he had hoped to maybe be in place by then, but it doesn't sound like that's a possibility.
Mm-mm. And you won't be able to cater or anything there. You could have food, but just no alcoholic beverages, because once you have a pending application there, you can't bring alcohol in.
I do that, that's the situation, because I wasn't aware of that,
Could they have someone like, Kurt, the Navarre Group, bring alcohol in?
Mm-mm. That's what I'm saying. You can't have any alcohol in there
alcohol.
once you have a pending application. So they can't get a catering, they can't get temporary, they can't do anything. Like I said, you could have alcohol or food appetizer or something like that, but
Okay.
yeah, sorry. But I'll be down there just
Okay.
after we wrap up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks.
What place are you here for? That was renewed on the first board, I think, wasn't it? Or, who's your spot? Yeah, that was renewed, that was renewed first.
as an automatic.
Yep, no violations, right? Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming. And I will make a motion to approve the September minutes for Board 1.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting is adjourned.